Hey, Untamed TV fans, it's Craig Belake here, your host. And today I'm joined by Bridget Brager, who is, let me make sure I get this right, lead mammography tech?
That's it.
Did I really get that right?
That's it, yes.
Oh man, first time ever. First time ever. Bridget works for Brigham City Community Hospital. And, okay, I got to admit right now, I don't know what the lead mammography tech is. What does that mean?
I'm basically just the mammography coordinator, but there's not that official job title, so they just call me the lead tech.
I like it. I like lead tech.
Yeah, okay.
I like lead tech. I do.
I'm in charge.
We've had other guests on here to talk about mammography. We've had people from the American Cancer Society. We've had breast cancer survivors and all that. I thought it'd be great if we had somebody on the show who actually does this for a living, kind of has seen the results, knows what's going on, and that sort of thing. So that's why I invited you here today.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing mammograms now for about 8 years.
Do you have any idea how many you do a week?
I do about almost 2,000 a year.
2,000 a year? Is that 2,000 times 2? I mean, for
well,
the obvious
so
reason.
About 4,000 a year.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. See?
You could double everything.
Pretty smart guy.
That's right.
Pretty
Only a
smart
man
guy.
would think of that, huh?
Yeah, and that brings up a great point. I'm a man, and I just really have no clue about this other than... And there's probably a lot of guys out there watching, like, getting ready to tune out right now.
Okay.
Because they don't care about mammograms, blah, blah, blah. But guys, listen up. You've got a mother. You've got a sister. You've got a girlfriend. You've got a wife. Hopefully not both. And so this is a concern to you. Breast cancer is a serious issue. And the best way to prevent it is?
To have a mammogram annually.
That's right.
Once a year.
Okay, well, that brings up a good point. There's kind of some confusion and some debate right now about whether or not you should have a mammogram every year. What's your take on this?
Okay, so you should have a mammogram annually once a year. We're finding that 1 in 8 women are diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime, and that's taken at the average age of 80. So your chances for breast cancer do increase in your lifetime. But 25% of women who are diagnosed are in their average age of 40. And 3 out of 4 women don't even have family history. So we can't make this a risk-based model like some people are trying to do. You really just have to look at the open picture. So if you are anywhere between 40 and you're even past 80 and you would still treat the cancer if you found it, then you should have it done on an annual basis.
Okay, every year?
Every year.
Every year. Now, there's tips to remember this kind of thing, right? Do it for your birthday.
Do it for your birthday. Some women just set up an annual get-together with their friends. Or they schedule it for their mom and their sisters. Everybody comes at the same time. They make a lunch date out of it. Whatever it is that motivates you, come in, have it done. Right. Schedule at the same time as your dental cleaning or the same time as your pap smear. Just make sure that you coordinate it with something that's going to tick with you so that you remember when to come in.
Have a you afternoon. You can do those three things.
Yeah.
Can't you do those 3 things
you
all
can, and you can have
afternoon?
A pedicure too.
Wow.
So there you go.
And
Treat
you
yourself.
Squeeze a little shopping in if you're really good at it and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So every year.
And we do send out annual reminders. So if you're coming in every year, then we are going to send you that letter every year to remind you to come in. If you don't respond within 30 days, we send another letter to remind you. If you don't respond to that, our central scheduling service will actually call you and give you the opportunity right there on the phone to schedule your annual mammogram.
Okay, so every year, there's probably somebody watching right now going, every year? What about every 3 years? I mean, what's the difference? What's the difference going to be between every year and, let's just say I did it every 3 years?
Yeah, okay, so last year we diagnosed 14 women with breast cancer. 7 out of those 14 women had skipped a year or more than 1 year. So their treatment for their breast cancer was probably a little bit more invasive than it needed to be. Because if they were coming in annually, we can find breast cancer very early and extremely treatable, up to 100% treatable. But if you're skipping years and you're coming in later and you have breast cancer, your treatments are going to be more invasive. Your breast is going to be more deformed because you're going to lose more of it, if not all of it. And so you're really just setting yourself up for more heartache in the end. Whereas if you just came in annually, we caught it early, we could take care of it.
There you go. It doesn't take long.
No, 20 minutes maximum.
Really?
Yeah. In Brigham, we try our best to keep it in 20-minute slots. Yeah. If you are registering on time, we try our best to stay right on time. You can be in and out in 20 minutes.
Okay. So what about people who say, a lot of my friends say, mammogram, it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
I don't like it,
I will tell you that 98% of my patients tell me that it's nowhere near as uncomfortable as I thought that it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it depends on your tech too. So my style is, I'm grateful that you're here today, and I'm glad that you chose to take care of yourself. There is a point of minimum compression, but there's also a point of maximum compression. And if you over compress the breast, we're really not doing any good. So a good tech knows when to stop compression. I let my patient tell me when she gets to that point of uncomfortable but not quite painful, and that she could sit there for 10 seconds while I take the image, and then that paddle immediately lifts off of the breast and they're good to relax for a few while we reposition the breast.
Wow, you know what? That doesn't sound bad.
No, so I think it's doable, and as long
Yeah.
as the patient's telling me where her comfort level is, if it's not enough compression, then we pull out, we reposition, and do what we can to make it comfortable for those 10 seconds to take the picture.
So what about women that say, well, I'm not good for a mammogram. Mine are different. I mean, you can speak to this better
Yes.
than me.
Yes.
I mean, they all come in different sizes and shapes. Not that I'm looking, honey, wife, but that's just a fact, isn't
It's
it?
a fact. Everybody's built totally different. It's kind of like your fingerprint. No two are the same. And so the machine is set up with different paddles, and the receptor is set up so that we can accommodate every patient that comes in and try and make it comfortable. If you walk with a cane and you want to stand with your cane, that's fine. If you walk with a walker, we can accommodate that. If you're in a wheelchair, or if you just don't stand well, I can put you in a chair and I can do it while you're in your chair.
Okay. And what about ladies out there that might say something like, well, I don't have any family history. I don't feel like I have it.
Yeah,
I mean,
so that's the point of the mammogram. We want to figure out if you have breast cancer before you can feel it. If you can feel it, then it's probably a little bit more advanced than 100% treatable by just cutting it out and dealing with it, really quickly. So the goal is to catch it before you can feel it. And really, 3 out of 4 women do not have any family history of breast cancer. So we're finding it in women who have no risk factors at all.
Wow. Well, what about people that say, gosh, I'm just full of questions today.
Great.
What about people that say, I don't have any insurance, I don't have any way of doing this? Are there options?
There are programs for that. We do offer a really great cash price at the hospital too, so you do get quite a bit of a discount on cash. Or the Utah Cancer Control is a program called Be Wise, and actually will put the women through an entire gamut of screening, including a pap smear, cholesterol screening, nutrition and exercise advice, and then they do a clinical breast exam and give her a voucher to come in and have a free mammogram done.
Right. And you say 14, you found 14 cancers
Last year, yeah. So by the time our 3D was installed in June, we actually quadrupled our breast cancer detection rate in the last 6 months of the year by using our 3D machine as opposed to the 2-dimensional that we had previous.
Wow, there you have it. Look into the camera right now. What's your message for women watching out there?
I would just tell you that really no matter whether or not you think you're high risk, I would just educate yourself. If you use the websites of mammographySaveLives.org and EndTheConfusion.org, there's a lot of really solid research information on there that will help you determine whether or not you should have a mammogram on an annual basis. ACR and Society of Breast Imaging are still saying to do it annually, as well as with about 4 other associations that really do recommend annual mammograms. So educate yourself, read about it, make the decision for yourself, make the appointment by yourself. You really don't even need a clinician's referral to come in and have the mammogram unless you're having problems. So call and schedule.
There you go. Call Bridget. Have
you
Bridget
call
do
me.
it, man.
I can
She's
do it
experienced
myself.
in all of that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
If you want more information, check out BrighamCityHospital.com, and by all means, call the hospital and ask for Bridget. She'd be happy to talk to you.
help.
She was happy to talk to you here today, and thank you for joining us on Untamed TV. We're talking mammograms. Get a mammogram, ma'am.
Do it. Thank you.
Untamed TV, Untamed.